different from person to person according to their views. If one considers I am seeing, doing, listening, etc., he takes the all sensory in the narrow line. It is not the way the Buddha explained in the Dhamma of dependent origination, Samuppada. This occurs with the realization of the person who is living the power understanding of the philosophy of Dhamma and the right view based on the understanding of their own views. Levels. This realization is a very thought task. The Buddha said that it was easy to easy to break into 100 pieces of air of a house, but it's very it is we do have very difficult to understand this. This realization is not easy to on the surface. It looks simply. We do have a story of self-view, Atma-Ditti. We used to see everything through the view of self. There is no one is doing it. There is no one who is seeing it. There is no one is feeling. There is nothing happens as such. Here only nature acts. There is only nature that exists. To view this, there should be a very keen, the sharp focus. This cannot be seen with the view of self, Atmadikti. Fear disadvantage. We cannot do out from the illusion of consciousness. Therefore, we try to understand everything or the illusion of consciousness. This is our helplessness. The Dhamma is beyond the illusion of consciousness, where consciousness is not appearing. Anidasana. It can only be recognized by wisdom. Jnana. Wisdom and consciousness are two different sensories. sensories. We emphasized frequently wisdom, jnana, was not consciousness, vijnana. That is why the Buddha told jnayasa adhigamaya, not vijnanasa adhigamaya. We can understand clearly that all these depend on the wisdom acquired from listening to the noble friend, Kalyana Mitra, and reading Sutame Jnana. Why are these called wisdom jnana? This is a very delicate matter. Now we have told consciousness is also a word. It is not a hide or enhance. This consciousness is the eye, the nose are the just feeling, which we experience through those faculties. These do not really exist. Just put them in place by ourselves. Why we call jnana after everything when we talk about different kind of wisdom? For example, wisdom of rising and passing away, udayavya jnana, and acquiring wisdom through listening and reading, suttame jnana. In this book it is called knowing, especially this is completely against Dhamma. It is hard to write in word. For an example, nobody can explain in writing the taste of salt. That is why we tell you that this wisdom has to be realized. Actually, wisdom is awareness after we see an object. We have an awareness that we saw. It is called Suttamenyana. When we listen to something, we know that this is the truth. When we try to understand what we thought was correct by this listening and treat that knowledge as wisdom. But what we thought is not wisdom. Sutamenyana is acquiring knowledge by listening. Then there is a sense of feeling. There are two words called Janato Pasato, knowing and certainty. The then these two words take you to all journey. We sharpen a knife by scrubbing both sides on a stone. The sharpen is not related to the act of scrubbing the sides, but the sharpen is the realization. It is wisdom. Wisdom is not the knowledge. One forgot what he read or listened. He doesn't remember that sutta, but he knows the hair. It is something like the knife cuts when it is sharpened, but the one who sharpened the knife doesn't remember which side it was scrubbed. Most of the people say Arana. We cannot remember the sutta, but we do not have attachment or aversion with anything negative. We feel that there is a reduction of defilements. That means it was for hatch is the wisdom. Can anybody tell that he does not reach the realization? It cannot be explained that what it is. If someone asks, in every direction illusion has been coming to the Dham. There are wrong views. This is the set of views. Therefore, we have a journey to go very carefully. We cannot believe in anything. We cannot just anything. We cannot trust anything. Even we cannot follow any individuals. It is not possible to do so. The Buddha has refused those followings too. The Buddha asked Bhikkhu, Wakkali, what are you doing by looking at this reference body? Do not attract to the form. What is the message the Buddha was giving over here? To see the Dhamma, not anything else. Freedom of the samsara is our progress. It is freedom from thoughts. Every moment it has to be felt that we are free from mind. We are on the correct path if we are relieved from the mind. It is not important who told this, how it was told, the way he told it, hard, soft, hard, etc. Whether it is man or woman, these are all are not relevant. Namarupa, Namarupa Najirati. It is going to the cessation of names and forms. Once the names and forms disappear, consciousness is getting invisible. Anidasana. With the realization, only this freedom from consciousness would happen. Sankite Nibbidaya. Attain nirvana toward realization. Nirvana means wisdom of realization. This is the Dhamma which has to be realized. This realization means getting to know that there is no individually non-self. There is a point to take in you. You can ask me question to ask me before. Then your question was about the Dakshanya. That means awaken to the moment. When this happens, you do not get to knowledge. This is the first one, the mind of the worthy. Person has been arising and passing away. The mind of the person who sees the Dakshani also rise and pass away. The worldly person may tell that when sees the world, the mind appears and disappears, and then when he sees the books, a new mind arises. The mind which sees the book also disappears, then he may ask whether this process in the system of arises and passing away, Udeva Jnana. Then we say that it also some kind of a essence of parsimony. But it is not the ultimate truth. It is not the end. Even though it is the start, this Dhamma is going to disappear and disappear. Deeper and deeper. When you go deeper, it is getting opens more and more. This wisdom of arising and passing away is the knowledge of the appearance of disappearance of the form. The person who sees the truth of form, and who sees the appearance of form also sees of disappearance of the form as well. Samudaya Asangamya. Formation, Rupa. This is the object of form, Rupa, Brahman, which are the form of sound, form of color begins the moment called Nirvana. Dear friends of Dhamma, we always day-to-day practicing Dhamma in our life. Sometimes we face some offers or problems with quantum solutions. Our Buddhotpada Dhamma guidance teach always ready to explain direction to correct path. Then our Kalyanita Buddhotpada Arana say sometimes doesn't we listen about Dhamma talk of friend Sirvan Saranjuan, Sirvan Saranai.
Sirvan Saranai Arana. May I pay homage at your feet? Thiruvan Saranai Henivahansa.
Oh, Sirvan Saranai.
Lord Buddha said, So Dhammam Passati, so Mam Passati. Lord Buddha showed us to see him through Dhamma. Buddha is not an individual, it's a state where liberation of mind has occurred. So what is Dhamma? Dhamma is nothingness. State of Buddha means a non-vibration state or a complete state. It is just like deep sea. If you take thoughts are like waves, the state of non-vibration is like the deep sea. Nibbana is the non-vibration state. So what is this world? World means a vibration. Your six senses are the world. Chitte niyati loko. What is Nibbana? Nibbana is the non-vibration state. That's where you get rid of the concept of the world, get rid of the illusion. When somebody realizes this Dhamma, the ignorance or avidya will fade away. Then he feels that there is no real value in this world. So then the feeling emerges that he got relieved from the world. That is Sabba Sankara Samatha. Relieved from thoughts, actions, and words. When the flame of a lamp slowly dies down and extinguishes, can we find where the flame went? Likewise, the death of the flame is Nibbana, the extinguishing of all defilements, greed, ill will, and delusion, the end of free birth, freedom from suffering. So our spiritual path lies that way. It's not easy, but if we know the correct path, we can definitely end our journey of birth and death, journey of samsara. So why this is not easy? Because it's a war with defilements. Actually, you can fight with someone outside, isn't it? But this war is with yourself, with your own mind. We cannot see the enemy. We are actually trying to catch something which is not there. Because there is nothing called mind. It's just like the wind. does the wind exist? Can you show the wind? It's like a river. We can't touch it. If we touch it, it's only water. The river flows. The wind blows. It's like rain. If you touch it, it's water drops. We cannot make any fixation on any of these. Actually, there are no such thing as wind, river, rain, or mind. All these are only concepts. The word river is not the river. The word wind is not the wind. So likewise, can we catch our mind? No, we can't. It's a speed, a vibration. It is difficult to catch it. Even if we try to catch it, we will end up getting caught in the illusion. So it's very difficult to see our own mind. For example, if there's a world war in the outside world, someone can use guns or rockets to destroy. Or someone can just kill someone. It won't take a second, isn't it? But it's so difficult to kill the defilements in one's mind. If the people who declare war against other countries, if they know only this is the creation of the mind, that their own defilements are created, then there won't be any more war. They can't win the war with their own defilements, but they have war with the outside world because they take the outside world as clear. If someday someone wins his own defilements, they will never fight with the outside world because he knows it's the world, that world is a mind creation. What I wanted to express here is it's easy for someone to fight with the outside world, but to fight with your own mind is very, very difficult. So without having a proper training, it's difficult to win this battle. So sometimes we do concentration meditation, walking meditation, but still our defilements are same, won't disappear. So what's the truth? The truth is that as long as the external world is true or real, you are in total delusion. You are bound to suffer because the soul is there. As long as you have a soul, you are bound to suffer. No freedom from suffering. So you must recognize this truth. This deep truth is grasped by the deep wisdom or prajna, and this cannot be seen by thoughts. How can you awaken to this deep wisdom? It's by being free from thoughts. Then only we can see the illusion we are in. Actually, we are in a prison of Maya or illusion, like a deer running after a mirage, thinking it's water. We are running after an illusion, a mirage. So whatever we think it to be true is not true. So find only true Dhamma. This cannot be found in a book. And also, if you seek refuge on an individual, you will never find Dhamma. One who seeks true Dhamma will find Buddha. If this truth is known by the society and accepted, the whole society and the world would be happy and peaceful, isn't it? If you enter the noble ground or Aribhumi, where you are freed from the outside world, That's where the samadhi is found. That's where the middle path is found. That is where the refuge of Buddha's nature is found. So, if you are listening to Buddhotpada sermons, you are really fortunate, as it's the gateway to Nibbana. It's very practical. You don't have to sit for hours and practice concentration meditation. You can apply this practice at your day to day work, at home, at the office, while shopping, in a bad situation, and so on. This is Vidarshana or insight meditation, which means the ability to see through the illusion of the mind and be able to see the truth in every thought. When you practice this, you will realize what you see outside is only thoughts. Then you would stop believing in the outside and know that all what you experience as outside are only thoughts, and to know how the illusion is created. You will be aware of the thoughts, and also later you will know that there's nothing in a thought. But this is not easy. It's the war with your own mind. That's the war which we have to face each moment. When you apply effort and you see that there's nothing in a thought, your inward progress continues to take place, and you feel that your defilements begins to dissolve. It's called the Ashaksha Jnana, which is not a thought but a feel. Then only you know that you are in the correct path. So the war with our own defilement is difficult. We do concentration meditation, but the defilements are the same as usual because soul is there, I am doing concentration meditation. Sometimes we hear someone say, I have gone for 2 weeks retreat in a very beautiful place, very peaceful place. But if you see through, there is I who has gone for a retreat. Oh, I did this much of puja to Kataragam. Again, I who has done puja. Maybe meanwhile, a poor person is listening to this talk and think, I am so poor that I can't do that meritorious deeds. Now see, there also I-ness has come forward because I am poor, so I can't do the meritorious deeds. So this ego, I-ness, soul always comes forward in almost every situation. Sometimes the same person who said, I have done this much pujas to Kataragama, he might not give a poor man something to eat when he asks, but the poor man instead might share his own only food with a dog who is in the roadside. So if we talk about this soul is everywhere. Can give lots of examples how this ego or soul pops out. Imagine you go to hospital to see a patient. You will pass all the other patients to go and see the particular patient you came to see. Maybe you give something you bought to the patient you know, but maybe the next bed patient has no one. So if you can share what you bought with the other, won't it be nice? So you can identify your attachments here too. In this way, you feel that attachments are diminishing. As our spiritual guidance teacher says, The place where I am not is found. It's beautiful. This is a field. It's freedom or liberation. I is a thought, so it's actually liberation from thoughts. Thoughts make you tired. That's because when there is a thought, there is something to get attached or disattached. There is always a thing. Chetu Vimukti or liberation of thoughts is getting rid of it. When the burden of thoughts are getting less, actually you feel light and you feel it. You have to practically experience this. The I-ness is where your defilements are. So in any situation, if you feel defilements are arising, that's where you can catch the I-ness. So this ego or I-ness can come in various ways. You can identify yourself. For example, say, I know it all. I'm scared. Oh, I am afraid of darkness. I feel comfortable in my place. I'm proud of myself. I have not done anything wrong, and so on. So you must have heard some of these, especially at workplaces. Everyone has some type of ego. So we have to identify the type of ego we have. The more the ego, people are selfish, manipulative, and critical of others. So when one is in this Dharma path, it is very important to identify the ego because it stays till the end of the journey. When you're being practical in Dhamma, one should catch this ego. Once it comes forward, you have to identify it. But as you know, it's very difficult to catch it. Most of the time, you miss it as it comes in many ways. So now we will see how this I-ness is created. So now you know that a thought is only a combination of sounds and colors, a vibration at the sensor level. So everything is a rupane or vibration which is differentiated by the senses, which means eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. Now you know that the world is created by our five senses: eye sensor, ear sensor, nose sensor, tongue sensor, and skin sensor. Though the vibrations happens at the sensor level, it cannot analyze the object at the sensor level. This is what Lord Buddha has explained as Vatam Vattati in Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutra. At the eye sensor level, it vibrates as colors and light. So likewise, at every sensor level, this happens. But at sensor level, can't identify the object. When all the five sensors get together, which happens naturally, we say it's a mango tree, coconut tree, car, mother, father, and so on. Actually, we can't see outside. We are thinking. For example, your eye cannot recognize what you see outside. Your ear cannot recognize what you hear, what the sound you hear. Your nose cannot identify the smell, and so on. Only the mind conscious can differentiate things, objects, and people. These vibrations happens very fast. So we get the existent feeling or the ittabhavya, which turns to another set of vibration which is called atmabhavya or atma kampane or the soul. This soul feeling created from the childhood due to the vibrations of senses and with identification of objects. Ayatanan patilabu ayang uchati jati. Now, jati is already created. After that, what happens? It gets more power, like a spin wheel, and creates its own power. The example Lord Buddha has given here is the whirlpool or the Diasulian. It follows the things around due to the power or the current, which is generated through senses. This is your power or the circle of samsara or circle of birth and death. So more the power to thought, more the value and more the attachment to the thought, a thing or a person. So the feeling of I or soul gets more powerful. Actually, there is no soul at all, only a thought which does not exist at all. So, what you have to understand here is the existent feeling and the soul feeling are two different entities. Now, we will see some examples. We'll go back to the radiant mind and a child at Montessori level, and a child about 18 years old, and also a dead body. So, in the radiant mind, a baby in the cot, if we give a phone to the hand, his senses also vibrates. He sees something, he feels something, he smells something. If he puts it in the mouth, he tastes something, but he does not identify what is the object. But if we try to take it back, he will hold it very tightly. And if we take it by force, he will start crying, isn't it? Though his sensor still does not get together and create the mind sensor, but the gum, the glue, or the Shastra field is there. But he does not identify it as a form. So we'll take the second example, the child in the Montessori level. He also sees a form. Usually at that age, children ask, what is this? What is that? Who is this? Why? And so on. Likewise, so that someone would say it is a phone. Then showing it, they will say it's a phone. So the vibrations happens at the sensor levels. Eye vibrates if there is a sound, ear also vibrates and so on. And with touch, he identifies as a hard object. So the sound is given as the phone. So all the sensors get together and creates the mind consciousness. And now he knows this object is called the form. And the speedy vibrations makes it feel real, existing, which happens actually automatically. But still, he does not give a value to the form. So he might put it down or throw it away. So if the child throws it away, the father or mother might shout at him because they have given a value to the form. So though the concept of phone is created in the child, but still there is no value given. Now, if we take the young adult around 18 years old, now the concept of phone is fully established, isn't it? So as soon as the eye vibrates, the mind identifies it as the phone, and all the other senses also get together. Now he knows the value of the phone, the type of the phone, in which country it was made, the model, what to do with the phone, how to keep it safe, and so on. Now we'll take the dead body. Maybe he used the phone when alive, but now if we keep a phone near his body and even it thinks, his sensors won't vibrate. He also has eye as the sensors, and other sensors, but they don't vibrate, and the mind is not created. So there could be another person who is in the Arabhumi. He also has a phone, but even the phone breaks, loses the phone, or if anything happens to the phone, it does not make him suffer. Why? Because he just uses it, but don't give any value. So what we have to understand here is that even though the phone is only a mind creation, a thought, different people give different values to it. Likewise, for everything or everyone, we give a value. For example, I value my house, I value my car, I value my children, I value my family, I value my money, I value my phone, and so on. So what we have to understand is this is the soul. I am there, it is there. So whatever we do, we do it to stimulate our six senses. The more the stimulation, more the value to the thoughts. Even during sleep, as dreams, we stimulate the mind senses and we take it as real. So even in sleep, we get the life feeling, not knowing it is an illusion. Even in real life, also the same thing happening. We all are living in a fantasy, a dream, and illusion. So now you know the vibrations gives the current or the power, which gives the existent feeling and the soul feeling. Like the electric power, magnetic power, it's the mind power. So if there are two extremes, there will be generating a power, the mind power. That's what Lord Buddha said, Yo bante vijitwana, vache manta nalipati, tan ruhi mahapurusho, say the symboli majjaga. Which means if there are two extremes, middle there is a power, that is the soul. Actually, once you understand this is an illusion, a mirage, a fantasy, the current or the power will start decreasing. Ego diminishes, the fire starts to dissolve. Fire means all the inside defilements. You will understand that this is a natural phenomena or the chitta yame. If you feel your internal fire is slowly diminishing, this means the internal transformation is taking over. So the vibrations are diminishing. When you identify this internal transformation, you will be awakened to the moment, which means that there is nothing in the moment, no soul. As you remember, this is a non-soul Dhamma. Slowly the lokasanya or the perception of the world will start to diminish. Now you can live in solitude or you can live in the middle of a crowd even. Both are the same. Inside you are silenced. This is the miracle of this Dhamma, isn't it? You will feel that while doing day-to-day activities, the feeling of self had been diluted. It is called sharpness. Spiritual development is the awakening of jnana or wisdom. So this is the beautiful story, isn't it? Story of our life. You don't even have a death here because there is no one to die. So you have to understand this true Dhamma. So what we have to understand is all thoughts are sparks, vibrations, mental images. It creates ego, me, myself, soul. This is what you call avitakka subhave or the state you know this is happening automatically. It is not thoughts. This is wisdom. It is beyond thoughts. You automatically frequency into the non-vibration system. It is actually a telepathy system. The existent feeling turns into a non-vibrational, non-existent feeling. So no suffering. The physical body is not a soul. There is no such thing as the mind, or there is no continuous mind. So what's this soul that is not in the physical body or the mind? It does not exist anywhere. There is no place where thoughts are generated. Mind creation is a natural process, natural phenomena. Because of the speedy vibration, it generates power, the liveliness. With that comes sorrow, joy, happiness, sadness, jealousy, greediness, and so on. Actually, there's no one doing it. Lord Buddha has preached a non-soul Dhamma. There is no doer anywhere. It's a natural phenomenon. You have to understand this. Lord Buddha has showed us the way to get rid of the karma bhumi and see the Arya bhumi, where you don't find suffering, birth, or even death. How wonderful is that, isn't it? So, when in the spiritual path, always try to catch the I-ness, ego, soul, or me. It appears in various ways. For example, if we hit our leg in a table, in a fraction of moment, we take it as my leg is hurting, isn't it? So if you analyze this properly, actually, where is me? Where is the leg? Who was hurt? All are merely thoughts. We have to be very clever to identify this. We always try to maintain a me or myself, which is a thought and or an illusion. So whatever stimuli or aramana comes to the senses, which is never ending, you have to contemplate on that. So all the thoughts are mind creation, a natural phenomenon. Like the sea waves think they don't belong to the sea, but the waves cannot exceed the sea. Likewise, though we think we don't belong to the nature, we cannot exceed nature. If we try to keep life under pressure, it will be exhausting, isn't it? The natural process cannot be suppressed. Can you control the wind? Can you control the sea waves? You can't, isn't it? Likewise, your thoughts are the same. Thoughts will come and go. What you can do only is to see the truth in a thought, how it is created due to Paticca Dhamma or dependent origination Dhamma, and how the soul is created, and see that there is no doer, only some actions happening automatically. There is actually no soul. Actually, there was no soul at all from the beginning. It was a false view or a concept. Once you know absolutely that there is no outside world as you think, and all are thoughts, even the concept of me, also a thought, a false view, you will become a stream mental. But still, you have the Atma Sanya or the perception of me, myself. This you can identify with the internal fire. So, how to identify this Atma Sanya? For example, say once you like to eat tasty foods, so you were used to cook it in a particular way, otherwise, you won't eat it. But now, it doesn't matter if you have that particular curry or not. You eat whatever you have and don't complain about it. Maybe those days you went to the market searching for that particular food. That was when your soul was very powerful. There was the fire within. But now that fire is slowly dying. So now you don't care even food is there or not. Anything might be okay for you now. So likewise, you can yourself identify your own defilements. It does not happen overnight. You should have to have an overview of yourself. How I was earlier and how am I now. You can judge yourself. The more you give value to a thought, more the internal fire. So say you have some gold with you. So you have given a value to it. How did this value come from? From where? As I told you before, in the radiant mind, he did not even know what is gold, did he? Even at the Montessori level, still he does not give any value to the gold. I know once a 2-year-old girl swallowed a gold necklace. She didn't even know why it is there, isn't it? The parents or the adults have given a value to it. So later in life, somebody might tell the child that this is a very valuable thing and don't lose it. So with age, the child gives more value to it, and the mind power generates more. With that comes the greediness to buy more gold. With that, the fear to lose it. so to keep it in a safe place. And all the thoughts in connection with the simple goal because of the value given to it. So if he loses it, obviously he will end up suffering, thinking about the lost gold. So the same with mother, father, son, daughter, and so on, and also me. This is the most difficult part. We have given more value to this. For example, imagine there was an accident. The first thought which comes to our mind whether someone from my family was there, isn't it? So imagine there was an accident. The first thought which comes to our mind whether someone from my family was there. So again, usually we start crying, calling everyone, trying to find out what happened. It's actually a very difficult situation, isn't it? But this is a moment or an incident where we can identify ourselves. If it happened to someone else, we might even try to console them. But when it happens to us, it's another situation. At any time, we can face these type of situations in life, isn't it? So our only solace will be in Dhamma. Actually, our spiritual guidance teacher always tells us to find the soul. Actually, what we have to understand in the end is that is we were searching for something which is not existing at all, as it's a non-soul Dhamma. So if you follow Buddhotpada sermons, you will actually feel that your defilements are fading. But the inner soul will show up in various ways. So when we practice Dhamma, practically, chair, book, mother, father, son, daughter, we see as usual. Nothing is lost, can be seen as usual, can hear all the sounds. But what happens is we don't give any value to those because we know how it is created. So now I will end my today's speech, and now our spiritual guidance teacher, Buddhotpada Aryan Mahansa, will give us a short speech. Tiruvan Saranai.
Sorry.
People thinking I am this body. The body is me, but it is not. So, what is Buddha's word? We don't realize this. You think that this is my body. You think that this is my child. You think that this is my husband. You think that this is my house. Now, where are you? Aren't you only a thought at this moment? You are only a thought. Now, let us see where this thought comes from. A thought is also known as a mind. What is a spark? When a sound and a color comes together, it creates a spark. It's a process. It's a We won't understand what happened to here, what happened here. When sound and color comes together, it creates a thought. That's a star. That's a chair. Chair is a sound. Chair have a picture. So kindergarten time, what is teacher doing? Given out the picture and given to sound, red, yellow, blue. The sound and forms to that thoughts are creating. Is that happening here? So, if you think that this is your child, it is only a thought of a child. If you think that this is your body, it's also only a thought. You think that this is your body. If you think that this is your husband, it is only a thought of a husband. If you think that this is your house, it is only a thought. Now, is there life in a thought? You found another Dhamma, meaning there is no life form at all. Life does not exist. We thought that there is life, it is only a thought. We only associate with the thought. It is the thought that says that this is a book. It is the thought that says this is your child. It is only a thought. It is a chitta, a thought stimulant. Of a Arana is the Buddha's word, stimulant, that comes from the mano sense. There's a mind consciousness. It is only a thought stimulant. Later you will understand that there is nothing as thought either. A thought arises and disappears, or say immediately. A spark or a stimulant always takes place at any one of our six senses. The six senses are seeing, hearing, taste, touch, smell, and mind consciousness. The mind consciousness is formed by the stimuli coming from the five other senses. But remember, a newborn baby does not have anything formed in his mind consciousness. A newborn baby comes to this world with a pure mind and absolutely blank mind. He does not have any data in his mind. The stimuli that we receive from seeing, hearing, smell, sensor, taste sensor, and touch from our mind consciousness. The mind consciousness was repeatedly at all times. The only time the igniting of the past in our mind will stop is when we stop breathing. Actually, a spark never talk never took place at all, and life never existed, and none of the six senses ever existed. The mind process had never experienced anything outside. Sound and color do not exist outside. It is all a lie. Then, has there ever been anything outside? There is nothing as sound, and there is nothing as color outside. There aren't such things. Therefore, the Buddha said, Sunya. Sunya is nothing exists. Unlimited. This is meaning is nothing outside. No center, no stimulus appear. Meaning that Apani is the word, meaning that there is nothing to experience, no happiness, no sorrow. This moment of realization is called Cheto-vimukti, is a liberation of mind. The realization of the pure truth. There is no thought formed at this moment. The mind consciousness cannot exist at this moment. Therefore, there is no thought at this moment of awakening to the pure truth. You realize that there is nothing as the earth. There is nothing as your leg, your body, your child, your husband, your house, whatever you say, you saw before. They do not exist because there is no mind at this moment. At this moment of awakening, you become aware that when there is no thought, there are no things, that nothing exists. This realization is the pure truth. When there are thoughts, there are things. After you realize the pure truth, you realize that even though our mind concept said it was thirsty, it had never drunk any water. When the mind said it was hungry, it had never had food. When the mind consciousness thought that it went for a walk, it had never walked. Even though the mind consciousness thought that time that this body is owned by the mind. The mind never owns a body. Even though the mind consciousness thought that the mind has children, the mind never had children. The mind thought that the mind had a house, but the mind never had a house. The thought is only a spark made from a sound and a color. Is there a thing in a sound? Is there a thing in a color? Even if you hear that the heat of the sun will increase and turn this earth to ash, it would not matter to us. Why? Because We know that even the sun and the earth are light. We know that they don't exist. Now, only the empty space will remain. That is the truth. Whatever we thought never existed. When you understand the pure truth, you cannot believe it. Can you? You feel like you died. You feel the death of all your senses, don't you? You feel like you died. You feel like everything is non-existent, and that only the universal space is left. You feel like everything has been demolished. We demolished the concept of children, husband. We demolished the concept of me, the concept of our body, and the concept of the earth. Now it's just an empty universe. Okay, we're talking about this empty universe because this our mind. We are thinking that everything is mind control given to us. That is why it's okay. We are talking about in the time, this pure truth, in the anger, remember.
Arana answer. Arana answer.
I think there's a our English explanation. This is true Dhamma. You know what is the happen is here. What is the truth is people don't know the truth. They are in misconception. They want to know the truth. Why we want to know truth? We don't know the truth. We are in illusion. We are thinking this world is real, permanent. But it is not real. It is not true. It's our mind creation. We are thinking. So people have sadness and suffering. They are in suffering because they don't know the truth. They are living mind world, but they are thinking outside world. They are living. They everything is mango tree, coconut tree, or earth, America, or Europe, or as a mother, father, everything, sun, moon, everything is sound and forms. Pictures, we are talking about sounds. Together, that's the thoughts. That's the simulation like that. This creation is our sensor. These senses, these 5 senses, eye, ear, nose, mouth, and skin. This creation is sound, forms, sound and forms, and smell, taste, and skin, hot and cool. This existent feel is given to us. These thoughts. This thought is every time how a thought every time is creating the one thought, that every stimulus thought and again and thoughts are creations rotating like spring. This circle of spring type of mind, that's thoughts are creations. These thoughts are otherwise generating every time that these senses are creating. The mind consciousness is the thoughts. Is 5 senses are creating. That's uh, sound and forms and other fields are together. That's the thoughts. That thought is someone understood is not real. It's not real. It's an illusion. So nobody is here. That's a feel is coming. That's a thought, existent feel is coming. That's a power is generating inside this sound and forms. Inside, that's the vibrations. The vibrations, that's the existent feel is given. Sound also existed. That's the pictures, colors also existed. That's they are together coming. That's the thoughts are existent feel is given. We are thinking this world is a thinking world. That's the mindful world. So its existent feel is the otherwise is the alive feel. That's a thought. So what is the birth? Birth is every time creation. Every time we have birth. Every thought something existent feel. That is the birth. That is the birth. I is the birth. I creation is the build up in this. That's the existence is a chair. Chair is the birth. This present moment, every moment, your birth is happening. You have something that is the birth. The thought is reality is coming. The thought is real, permanent. That's the existent feel. That's the illusion. That's your world, mindful world, thoughtful world. That's the birth. Birth have some. That's how. Otherwise, it's a birth. It's a thought. The death also thought. So you are thinking. I'm here. I can see the wall. I can see the chair. Where's the chair? Chair is your mind, but you are telling the outside is a chair. Yeah. Physically, you can touch. Rough is you can experience this. Yeah, touch is there. The touch also your body, your hand, something to touch. That's the rough feel you can experience. But how is that chair? Chair is a sound, no? Your eye look in the picture, but you can touch. It is a rough. It's okay. But rough is not chair. It's a feel only. Sensor only. Chair is a sound. That is this sensor creation, the sensoring world we are talking about. This is a mindful world, not real. So we every time the naturally is a natural phenomenon as nobody is doing, it's a happening this creation, the process, creating these thoughts. That's the thoughtful world, mindful world we are living. That's the feel. That chair is a thought is the birth is existent feel. Chair is something there, existent feel is coming. That's the birth is this present moment thought. So that's otherwise is we are thinking cha is there. So cha is there. That's the birth. It's the cha. Yeah, I is the birth. Is Buddha's word. Is that is why Buddha said, Chakku nichanga anichanga. You can realize this Tripitaka. What is Buddha asking the monk? Chakku nichanga anichanga. It's a monk is telling the answer is anicham bhante. This eye, something looking, there's a chair, he can see it's impermanent or permanent. That is the question of is Buddha asking that monk. But monk is answer given impermanent. It's not real. That is the answer. It is our sound, our ear given the sound chair, and eye given the picture. That's together coming. That thought is not chair, is not anywhere. So other religion, other language, variety of countries, they are talking other language. The Sinhalese are talking Putuva. English are talking chair. But there is no Putuva or chair. That is our mind. So somebody understood this. This is the dependent origination, mind creation. It's very worth. So death also. You have birth, you have death. You haven't a birth, you haven't a death. Death also a thought. Birth also a thought. Every time we have something, we have birth, we have death. You haven't something. Normally you can see. Normally you know this. So lay people normally know this. Chair is okay. Normally chair is coming, your senses are working. But inside, the existent feel is your alive feel. You know this. You're not you're not any you know the truth here. You haven't any inside burning or inside vibration or not happening. Normally you are living normally day-to-day activities are happening, but you are not inside any vibrations happen, sadness or suffering are not coming because you know the truth. That's the endless happiness. That's the tranquility is the nibbana is there. Every time nibbana is every thought have. Every thought, nothingness is there. Someone know this, no any reaction, no vibration, no anything not happening inside, paining or any attachment or not happening. That's the defilements are fading. We are talking about someone know this, he egoistic defilements is little bit is fading. Finally, that's the type of you are becoming the moment, awaken to the moment. You know the truth. You are not a dream looking. You are wake up the dream like that. Awaken to the moment. We are talking. That is the Buddha's word is super awaken. That the other some people talk about the enlightenment, but we are explaining this. Not alignment is Hindus are talking. They are thinking universe power is the linking universe power plug link the alive is a power. That's a mindful power. But it is not Buddha's word. It's not alignment. It is supervakan. Supervakan is nothingness. That's the Buddha's word. Nisattva, nijjivo, sunya. That's a nothingness. That's a otherwise is a oneness. After finally all of them same. Because nobody is here, everybody is same. So that is the final coming effort. That's a cause and effect dhamma. Cause is vibration, effort is something there. Cause is somebody understood, effort is God. Because he understand nothingness is here. No nothingness here, nothing effort is the alive field. We are talking about soul is not there's exist. There's a otherwise is a egoistic is God. Nobody is here. You understand. First you understand. Second you can experience. That's the Nibbana. So this Buddhotpada Dhamma discourses is going, this explaining whole the real dependent origination is, I think, very worth everybody. Thank you for before explaining our Dr. Chandani. So everybody, we can another discussion here and tomorrow. We can join us. It's okay. You can join us. Everyone, everybody. Everyone,
සන්නයාරණස
everyone.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
Everyone.